Blood was everywhere. The hotel suite was torn apart, broken glass, overturned furniture, and a body on the floor wearing an expensive black suit. His name was Marcus Hale, one of the city's most trusted bodyguards. For years, he protected some of the richest and most powerful people in Los Angeles. But now, he was lying face down in his client's room, and his gun was missing. Detective Sarah Collins looked around, her eyes sharp. The body belonged to Michael Trent, a billionaire tech CEO who had enemies everywhere. But Marcus was the one who had been hired to protect him. Now both men were gone, one dead, one vanished. The cameras in the hallway had been wiped clean. No prints, no witnesses, nothing. Sarah stared at Marcus's empty holster. "The bodyguard is either dead," she whispered, "or he's running from something worse than a killer." Just then, the door creaked open. A faint sound came from the closet. Sarah turned her flashlight slowly toward it. Her partner aimed his gun. "Come out with your hands up." The door opened, and a young woman stepped out, shaking, blood on her hands. She said one word that froze the room. "Marcus." And then she fainted. 2 weeks earlier, Marcus Hale was standing outside the same hotel, sunglasses on, earpiece in, his posture steady and controlled. He looked like any other professional bodyguard, tall, calm, and quiet. He had been hired to protect Michael Trent, a billionaire known for his flashy lifestyle and dangerous business rivals. But Marcus wasn't just any guard. He was once a decorated police officer, until a scandal ruined his career. An officer had been shot during a drug bust gone wrong, and Marcus had been blamed. The department turned its back on him. Now he worked private security, keeping powerful people safe for money, not justice. When he was offered double his usual rate to protect Trent, he didn't ask questions. But from the first day, something felt off. Trent was paranoid, checking windows, locking doors, even whispering into his phone like someone was always listening. He told Marcus that someone wanted him dead. Marcus didn't believe him, not at first. But when Trent's car exploded 2 days later, Marcus realized this wasn't a normal job. That night, Marcus sat alone in his hotel room, watching the security footage from earlier. A black SUV had been parked across the street for hours. Inside it, 2 men in suits. They didn't move, didn't talk, just watched. Marcus's phone buzzed. It was a message from Trent. "Come to my room now. Don't tell anyone." When Marcus arrived, the lights in Trent's suite were off. The curtains were drawn. Trent was sitting in the dark, sweating, clutching a glass of whiskey. "They know," Trent whispered. "They know everything. I thought I could hide it, but I can't." "Hide what?" Marcus asked. Trent looked at him, eyes wide with fear. "I stole something. Files. From people you don't cross. I was going to go to the FBI. I wanted protection, that's why I hired you." Marcus's jaw tightened. "Who are they?" Trent leaned closer. "You'll find out soon enough. Just don't trust anyone." Then the lights flickered, and the hotel phone rang. Trent picked it up, and the voice on the other end said something that made his face go pale. Marcus never forgot the words. "You should have hired a better bodyguard." Marcus drew his gun, pulling Trent toward the door. But before they could move, the window shattered. A bullet whizzed past, hitting the wall just inches from Trent's head. Marcus dove to the floor, dragging him behind the sofa. "Stay down," Marcus shouted. He fired twice toward the window, hitting nothing but curtains. Outside, he could hear footsteps running down the fire escape. He turned to Trent. "We're leaving. Now." They ran through the back hallway and into the service elevator. As the doors closed, Marcus's phone buzzed again, a new message. This time, it was from an unknown number. "You can't protect him. He's already dead." Hours later, they were hiding in a safe house on the edge of town. Trent wouldn't stop pacing. "They're everywhere," he said. "They'll find us. They always do." Marcus poured himself coffee and tried to stay calm. "Who exactly are we talking about?" "The syndicate," Trent whispered. "A group that controls everything: banks, politics, tech companies. I stole their data. Names, accounts, everything. It's all in a drive hidden in this city." Marcus's mind raced. If that was true, protecting Trent meant going against the most powerful people alive. Then Trent stopped pacing and looked straight at him. "If I die, the drive goes public. But if they kill you too, no one will ever know." Marcus froze. "What do you mean?" Trent gave a nervous smile. "I made sure your name's in there too, Marcus. You're my insurance." Marcus's stomach turned cold. "You used me." Trent shrugged. "That's how this world works, buddy. Everyone's someone's bodyguard. Before Marcus could respond, there was a sudden bang at the door, followed by silence. Marcus drew his gun again, heart pounding. "Stay behind me," he whispered. He crept toward the door. Another bang. The lock twisted on its own. Then boom. The door exploded inward, smoke filling the room. Marcus was thrown to the floor, ears ringing. Through the haze, he saw men in black masks storming in with rifles. Trent screamed, "Don't shoot!" But one of the men fired anyway. Marcus crawled across the floor, trying to reach his gun. He fired one shot. The man fell. Another grabbed Trent by the collar and dragged him out. "Marcus!" Trent yelled. "Don't let them take me." Marcus stumbled to his feet, chasing after them into the hallway. But by the time he reached the stairwell, they were gone. The only thing left was Trent's phone, cracked and buzzing on the floor. On the screen was a text message, sent just minutes before the attack. From Marcus Hale. "Message, he's ready. Move now." Marcus froze. He hadn't sent it. Someone had cloned his number. Someone had set him up. By morning, the story was everywhere. Tech billionaire abducted. Bodyguard wanted for questioning. Marcus's face was plastered all over the news. Every cop, every camera, every criminal in the city was looking for him. He couldn't go home. Couldn't call anyone. He was trapped, a bodyguard accused of betraying the man he was hired to protect. But Marcus knew one thing. Someone wanted him silenced. And whoever that person was, they were the reason Michael Trent disappeared. He would find them, even if it meant breaking every law left standing. Late that night, Marcus drove to the only place no one would think to look, the abandoned police precinct where he used to work. Dust covered the floors. Old case files were scattered across desks. He sat down, pulled out Trent's broken phone, and plugged it into his laptop. A hidden file popped up instantly. One word on the screen. Insurance. He clicked it, and hundreds of names appeared. Politicians, CEOs, cops, judges. At the very bottom, one name made his blood run cold. Detective Sarah Collins. Before he could read more, headlights flashed through the window. A car had pulled up outside. Marcus grabbed his gun, heart pounding. The driver's door opened. Boots hit the ground. Then came a familiar voice. "Put the gun down, Marcus. You're under arrest." Sarah Collins stepped into the light, gun aimed right at his chest. Marcus didn't lower his weapon. His voice was low, calm, deadly. Marcus dove to the ground as the bullet smashed through the window. Shards of glass rained down around him, cutting into his arm. Sarah dropped too, rolling behind an overturned desk. The sniper's second shot punched a hole straight through the wall, inches from her head. "Stay down," Marcus shouted, crawling on his elbows. He grabbed Sarah by the shoulder and pulled her behind a filing cabinet. She gritted her teeth, blood running from a cut on her cheek. "They're here for you, Marcus." "No," he said. "They're here for both of us." Another bullet slammed into the metal cabinet, the echo shaking the room. Marcus pulled a small mirror from his pocket and angled it toward the window. He caught a glimpse of the rooftop across the street, a flash of movement, the glint of a rifle scope. He fired twice toward it. The sniper ducked, and Marcus used the moment to grab Sarah's arm. "We have to move. Come on." They bolted toward the back hallway, boots echoing off the concrete floor. As they ran, Sarah gasped. "You said my name was in that file." "Why?" Marcus didn't answer. "Not yet." He kicked open the door to the stairwell, leading her down 3 flights until they burst into the alley behind the building. Rain was pouring hard now, thunder rolling in the distance. A black van screeched around the corner. The side door slid open, and masked men stepped out, aiming rifles. "Go!" Marcus yelled. He pushed Sarah behind a dumpster and fired 3 shots. One of the gunmen dropped, but another returned fire. Bullets tore through the metal, sparks flying. Sarah reached for her gun, covering Marcus as he reloaded. "How are they finding us?" she shouted. "They're tracking the phones," he yelled. He grabbed her phone and smashed it against the wall, then did the same with his own. "We move now, or we die here." They sprinted through the alley, turning left onto an empty street. Sirens wailed in the distance, but Marcus didn't stop. His mind raced. Every second counted. Whoever these people were, they wanted both of them erased before the truth came out. They finally ducked into an old parking garage. Marcus kicked open the back door of a dusty sedan and hotwired it. The engine sputtered, then roared to life. Sarah jumped into the passenger seat, still breathing hard. "You're going to tell me everything," she said through clenched teeth. Marcus didn't look at her. His eyes stayed on the rearview mirror. I will. But first, we need to disappear. He sped out of the garage, just as another black SUV turned the corner. Headlights flared behind them. The chase began. Marcus swerved through the streets, tires screeching, the SUV right on their tail. A bullet shattered the back window, and Sarah ducked. They're shooting at us. Welcome to my world, Marcus said grimly. He turned sharply down a side street, nearly hitting a lamppost. The SUV followed, ramming the back of their car. Hold on, Marcus shouted. He pulled the handbrake, spinning the car in a sharp 180. The SUV screeched to a halt, and Marcus floored it, straight toward them. The two vehicles collided with a deafening crash. Airbags exploded. Smoke filled the air. Marcus kicked open his door, coughing, dragging Sarah out with him. Move. They won't stop. The driver of the SUV stumbled out, groaning. Marcus grabbed Sarah's arm and ran again, disappearing down a narrow alley. They didn't stop until they reached an old bridge on the outskirts of town. There, Marcus finally turned to her. That file you saw, he said quietly, it's real. It's not just names. It's transactions. Payoffs. Everyone who ever took money from the syndicate, and everyone they own. Cops. Judges. Even you. Sarah's voice trembled. I never worked for them. You have to believe me. I want to, Marcus said. But your name doesn't lie. She looked at him, eyes burning. You think I set you up? He didn't answer. He looked away, scanning the empty bridge. I think someone did. Maybe you. Maybe me. Maybe we're both being played. Lightning flashed overhead, thunder cracking like a gunshot. Sarah took a step forward. Marcus, listen to me. I joined the task force that was investigating the syndicate. If my name's in that file, they put it there to discredit me, just like they did to you. Marcus stared at her. The rain ran down his face, washing away the blood on his cheek. For a moment, he wanted to believe her. He wanted to trust someone again. But before he could speak, headlights appeared at the far end of the bridge. More black cars. Sarah's eyes widened. They found us again. Marcus pulled his gun. We make our stand here. The cars stopped 50 feet away. Doors opened, and men stepped out, silent, disciplined, armed. Their leader, tall and cold-eyed, walked forward. His voice was calm and sharp as glass. Marcus Hale. Detective Collins. You've caused us a lot of trouble. Marcus raised his gun. Who are you? The man smiled faintly. The man who pays the bodyguards. Marcus fired once. The man didn't flinch. His soldiers opened fire. Bullets ripped through the night. Marcus pushed Sarah behind a pillar and fired back. One by one, the attackers fell, but there were too many. The air was filled with smoke, rain, and gunfire. Sarah reloaded, yelling over the chaos. We can't hold them off. Marcus looked around and saw something in the distance. A dark shape under the bridge, half hidden by the storm. A boat. He grabbed Sarah's hand. Follow me. They ran, bullets whizzing past, diving off the bridge onto the deck of the old fishing boat. Marcus started the engine. It sputtered, then roared. The men above fired wildly, but the boat drifted into the dark river. They escaped barely. For several minutes, the only sounds were rain and the hum of the engine. Marcus sat at the wheel, breathing hard, soaked and bleeding. Sarah sat beside him, silent. Finally, she asked, Where are we going? Marcus looked out into the black water. Somewhere they can't find us. Not yet. Sarah studied his face. You think you can take them down, don't you? He nodded slowly. Not think. No. Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small flash drive. The same one he'd found hidden inside Trent's phone. He placed it in her hand. This is the real insurance. Trent hid it from them. But now it's ours. Sarah looked at it, eyes wide. What's on it? Marcus met her gaze. Proof. And before she could say another word, the boat's engine died. They both turned, and standing on the dock ahead of them was a man Marcus thought was dead. Michael Trent. His suit was torn, his face pale, but his smile was cold. Miss me, he said. Marcus froze. You were supposed to be dead. Trent stepped forward slowly, rain dripping off his hair. I was. Until I realized something. The best way to survive a hit is to hire a better bodyguard. Marcus raised his gun again. What did you do, Trent? Trent smirked. I didn't steal from the syndicate, Marcus. I am the syndicate. Sarah gasped. Marcus's heart stopped. Trent continued, voice smooth and dark. You were just my test. To see if my best man could survive the worst storm. Marcus's grip tightened on the gun. Then what am I now? Trent smiled wider. Now, You're my liability. A red laser that appeared on Marcus's chest. He looked down and realized too late what was about to happen. Bang!